Hello students, welcome back to another algebra video. You know the drill, pause the video, try these problems in your notes, and then unpause them to do them with me. Okay, we are solving the inequality, and then we are graphing the solution. So, I want to get n by itself, that's what solve means. So, to get n by itself, I'm going to multiply by 7 on both sides, because the opposite of dividing by 7 is multiplying. So now I have n is greater than or equal to -7. Wonderful. Okay. So now I'm going to graph it. I'm going to make my number line. I'm going to have 0 and -7. I'm going to put a circle above -7 because -7 is the number that I care about. And I'm going to color it in because it's greater than or equal to. That means that I have a closed circle. Now, I want n greater than or equal to -7. So which way is my arrow going to point? Well, what are some numbers that are greater than -7? Well, we know that all positive numbers are greater than negative numbers. So 5 is greater than negative. So my arrow will point towards 5. And we'll make it nice and bold so that we know exactly which way we are pointing. And there you have it. We are finished. Now, remember that negative numbers do not always mean that we flip the sign. If I end up with a negative number, that's fine. It's only if I multiply or divide by a negative number. And here, we were multiplying by +7. So, it didn't matter that we multiplied by 7. It's not negative. We don't have to flip it. Wonderful. Okay, let's get a different color for the next question. Here, I want to get p by itself, and I'm dividing by -4. So I'm going to multiply both sides by -4. And now, that is multiplying by a negative number. So we need to flip it. Yes, indeed. So the sign goes from less than, turns into greater than, and 7 times -4 is -28. Wonderful. So we have solved, but now we need to graph. So I have 0, I have -28, and that whole, should my circle be closed or open? It should be open, because it is strictly greater than. So, open. And now I want p greater than -28. So what are some numbers that are greater than -28? Well, remember, anything that is positive will always be greater than negative. So maybe +2. So our arrow will point towards +2 and all the other positive numbers. And it will be nice and bold so we know exactly which way we're pointing. Beautiful. Wonderful. Okay. I hope that felt good. If it didn't, please watch the last 2 videos. The second one before this showed us how to graph, and last video showed us how to, or excuse me, 3 videos ago showed you how to graph, and the last 2 videos showed us how to solve. And speaking of solving inequalities, today we're going to be solving multi-step inequalities. So very similar to when we were solving equations, we solved single-step equations and then multi-step equations. We're going to do the same thing. So you want to know what a multi-step inequality is, that's what the learning target is, and you want to be able to solve multi-step inequalities. That's the success criteria. So a multi-step inequality is exactly what it sounds like. It has multiple steps to solve it. And they're very, very similar to multi-step equations. Very similar. So, let's jump right into it. Okay, we want to solve the inequality and graph each solution. So, I'm going to rewrite this. Y over -6 plus 7 less than 9. Now, should I multiply by -6 first or second? Remember, I want to do what's furthest away from the variable first. So this -6 is really in close with the y. It's y divided by -6. So because those are in so close, we will do that last. And first, we'll do this -7, chilling all the way out there. Okay, so we will subtract 7 from both sides. Now we have y over -6 is less than 9 minus 7 is 2. Okay, and now this looks familiar, this looks comfortable. We want to get rid of the -6, so we're going to multiply by -6 on both sides. That'll go away over here. So we have y. Oh, wait, we multiplied by a negative number. You know what that means? It means flip. Flip. So greater than, y is greater than, 2 times -6 is -12. And now, let's graph this. We have 0 and -12. Our circle around this should be open because it is strictly greater than. There's no or equal to sign underneath it. And let's see, y is bigger than -12. So that means like all the positive numbers, the numbers that are bigger than -12 are over here. Okay, wonderful. Next question. 2v minus 4 is greater than or equal to 8. I want to get rid of the 4. I do the 4 first because it's furthest away from the v. Okay, get rid of that, and we have 2v is greater than or equal to 8 plus 4 is 12. Okay, and now I'll divide by 2 on both sides to undo the 2 times v. And we have v is greater than or equal to 6. Now I didn't need to flip. I did not need to flip because there's no negatives involved in this. But more specifically, I did not multiply or divide by a negative number. And that's what makes it so that I don't have to flip the sign. Great, so here is my solved inequality. Now I need to graph it. So 0 and 6. My circle on 6 is going to be closed because this sign is greater than or equal to. And I want v greater than or equal to 6. So the numbers that are greater than 6 are 7, 8, 9. All the numbers over here. So we're going to draw a nice big bold arrow. Ta-da! Let's check and see if we were right. Y is greater than -12. Booyah. And v is greater than 6. Booyah. Booyah. It looks beautiful. Okay, now, our next example. We are still solving multi-step inequalities, but now we have variables on both sides of the inequality. Now, before your eyes get wide and you freak out, this is just like when we had variables on both sides of an equation. Same thing. I want my variables on one side, or my x's on one side of the inequality, and I want my numbers on the other side. Now, again, you get to decide where do you want the x's, where do you want the numbers. But as long as they are separate, that's what matters. If the x's are over here or the x's are over here, it doesn't matter. As long as x's are on one side, numbers are on the other side. X's on one side, numbers on. Okay. So, if I want my x's on this side, I am going to need to move this 2x over here. Now, in order to move this 2x, I need to do the opposite of positive 2x, which is negative 2x. So that undoes this, and it's gone. It's off of this side. And now I have 6x minus 2x is 4x. Remember, when you minus 2x, you don't want to put it, whoa, freaked out a little bit. You don't want to put it over here. You don't want to put 5 minus 2x because you can't do 5 minus 2x. You want to put your apples together and your oranges together. So that's why we wrote the 2x over here. I put the x's together, my apples together. So 6x minus 2x is 4x. And of course, everything else comes down. The -5 comes down, and the 11 comes down. So, now, this looks familiar, this looks better, we know what to do here. I'm going to get rid of the 5 by adding it on both sides. Now I have 4x is less than 11 plus 5 is 16. And look at that. I know what to do here. Opposite of 4 times is to divide by 4. And x is less than 16 divided by 4, 4. I did not need to flip my sign because I was not multiplying or dividing a negative number. Wonderful. Beautiful. It did not tell me to graph, so I'm not gonna. Okay, and the solution is x less than 4, which is exactly what we got. Booyah! Okay. Example 3, inequalities with special solutions. Okay, so you might remember our equations with special solutions. That means there can be no solutions or infinitely many solutions. And let's see if that's the same here when we talk about inequalities. So let's look at A. We have 8b minus 3 is greater than 4 times 2b plus 3. Okay, first thing, distribute. Get rid of those parentheses. So let's do that. 8b minus 3 greater than 4 times 2b is 8b, and 4 times 3 is 12. Wonderful. Okay, so now we have something that looks like our last example. Remember, I need to get my b's on one side and my numbers on the other side. So I'm gonna get my b's over here. I want my b's over here. So I'll subtract 8b from this side and this side to move it over here. Now it goes away on this side of 12 less than, and oh wait, it goes away on this side too. 8b minus 8b is 0. So we have -3 is greater than 12. Is -3 greater than 12? No. No, because there are no solutions. So remember, when you get something that is not true, -3 greater than 12, it means there are no solutions. Because -3 is not greater than 12. It's not possible. So it's not possible to have solutions to this inequality. There are no solutions. Okay, let's look at B. 2 times the quantity 5w minus 1 less than or equal to 7 plus nw. Okay, remember parentheses first, so 2 times 5w is 10w, 2 times -1 is -2, and less than or equal to 7 plus nw. Alright, now we're going to move things over to the other side. So now, let's see, I want to get my w's on this side again. So, let's subtract 10w from here, and subtract 10w from here, and we get, oh, 10 minus 10w. So again, this goes away. 10w minus 10w is 0. So we're left with -2 is less than or equal to 7. And wait, that is true. That's totally true. So because this is a true statement, we end with something that is true, that means that no matter what you put in here, no matter what number you make W, you will always have a solution to this inequality. So this is infinitely many solutions. Because we always get something that is true in the end. Okay. Let's double check that we were correct. The inequality -3 greater than 12 is false, so there is no solution. That's what we had. And the inequality -2 less than or equal to 7 is true, so all real numbers are solutions. And what that means, all real numbers are solutions, that means infinitely many solutions. Because there are infinitely many real numbers. Okay. Booyah! So hopefully that felt very similar to Chapter 1, because it is very similar to Chapter 1. Solving equations, solving inequalities. The only difference is that the symbol is different. Okay. But if you have questions, please ask questions. Questions are good. Questions are amazing. We love questions. So phone a friend, rewatch this video, comment on the YouTube video, email me, talk to your teacher, whatever you want to do to get those questions answered, get them answered so you can go from the question brain to the light bulb brain. All right. As usual, here are some practice problems that you can use if you'd like to practice the skills taught in this video. And let's end with a launch, shall we? So, it comes from Hazrat Inayat Khan. I hope I pronounced that right. I probably butchered it. But they say, some people look for a beautiful place. Others make a place beautiful. So, this is very similar to the launch from our last video. Some people look for a beautiful place, others make a place beautiful. So it's kind of like the last launch when we talked about finding a happy life versus making a happy life. If you want a beautiful place, whether it be your house or the community of friends that you have, if you could either look for the perfect, most beautiful house, you could look for the perfect, most amazing friend group, or you could make it. You could make, like the house that I'm in right now, the yard is not pretty. Let's just put it that way. There are weeds everywhere. But I didn't buy the perfect, most beautiful house, one, because it's super expensive, and two, because how hard is it going to be for me to rip up those weeds and plant some flowers? It's not going to be super hard. So I can make my place beautiful and have some sense of accomplishment that, you know what, I made this place beautiful. And you can do the same thing in your emotional life, in your mental health. You can say, you know what, instead of looking for happiness or for the perfect friend, I'm gonna be the perfect friend, and I'm gonna make good friends. So, that is my launch for you today. Take it with you as you go throughout your day. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for being here, for watching. Bye.